Ekam is a movement in consciousness founded by Sri Preethaji and Sri Krishnaji, spread across over 100 nations of the world. This spiritual movement has led millions to a direct experience of their personal divine and the manifestation of breathtaking miracles. Seekers throng to Ekam, the mystic powerhouse at the heart of Ekam movement, to awaken from illusion, ignorance, and suffering.
Now I have a lot of ease and peace toward myself, and I feel that I'm so complete, and I start love myself, and I start connect to the people around me, the nature around me, and I start realizing I'm able to flow with the flow of life.
It felt really liberating, like I finally got through what I was like, I don't know, what was making me angry or sad at my parents. I finally got through it, and it feels really good.
As an entrepreneur, what I have been looking for, or what I look for all the time, is clarity. And what's amazing about Krishnaji is that when you listen to him and you talk to him, he's got a complete blueprint of what works and what does not work. And that's what I like about his programs, that they come from a place, a knowledge, a wisdom that is does not come from books. It comes from a deep knowing.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritam gamaya.
Every human being has one primal wish that appears as numerous other desires. You want to be happy. But it is sad that you seek this happiness in the outside without ever ridding your own consciousness of suffering, ignorance, and separation. Most people are like hungry and thirsty children who are lost and abandoned in the middle of a desert. It is this fear and unhappiness within them that makes them hurt each other. But their desert-like life is the result of the kind of consciousness with which they live and will disappear upon awakening. An unenlightened consciousness and unawakened consciousness is at the root of most problems. In an unawakened state, you continually engage in generating negative karmic actions and accumulate negative karmic balance, which result in obstacles such as relationship conflicts, breakdown of mental and physical health, or the perceived and actual economic insufficiency. It is also the collective unawakened consciousness that is at the root of most global problems of war, poverty, division, and environmental destruction. Your awakening is the only solution to stem the further birthing of problems and the dissolution of existing challenges. And the collective awakening of human consciousness is the only enduring panacea for all of world problems. That is why our single most important mission is individual enlightenment and collective awakening of humankind. We belong to Mukti Sampradaya, and it is our mission to awaken 74,000 people into Sampurna Jivan Muktas, or total liberated beings. For when 0.001% of human population is enlightened, the balance tilts in human consciousness towards compassion and oneness. This has been the mission of my parents, Sri Amma and Sri Bhagavan, and 5 generations of sages who have gone before them. And Sri Preethaji and I intend to fulfill this sacred mission of great liberation of humanity in our own lifetimes. Scores of people around you are already stepping into this realm of enlightenment, and we invite you to join this magnificent movement in consciousness.
I experience this flow now, and it's in my body, and it's so incredibly awesome. It's like this beautiful current of universal life force. That's who I really am. I'm so very appreciative of Krishnaji and Preethaji for the beautiful teachings, their processes, and the limitless field meditations. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And suffering, I thought it will bring me attention from other people. Yeah, and now I understood that it's not about the attention, it's not about the superiority, it's all about the connection and this state which helps you to connect to the people that I was totally disconnected. I'm really appreciative for this. Thank you so much.
Every night now, I am laying in a state of bliss consciousness that pervades my whole physical being. All through the evening, I have deep states of silence that abide during the day. It's not like just having this and then it's stopping.
Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Global Limitless Field with Sri Preethaji. I'm Purnima, a disciple of Sri Preethaji and Sri Krishnaji, and today I'm here to support you in this limitless field experience. Today is a day of great blessing for all of us because today we have Sri Preethaji with us to lead us into the limitless field. Sri Preethaji will be leading us into a great wisdom on the universal intelligence and then into the limitless field experience where our consciousness would awaken to the magnificent experience of divine connection. If you are ready, we would now invite Sri Preethaji to be with us. Let us joyfully invite Sri Preethaji now.
Namaste.
Pranam Sri Preethaji. Here is a question from a seeker. Her name is Catherine from China, Sri Preethaji. She says, I feel I have a good connection with the universal intelligence, but several times I do move into a space of questioning and losing faith when life circumstances become challenging. But later, I regret my own negative state and return to a beautiful state of connection and faith on the universal intelligence. But this cycle keeps repeating. What should I do to come out of this cycle and grow in my love towards the universal intelligence?
Namaste. First of all, I'm very happy to see that you are someone who's aware of your state. You are aware that you are stuck in a cycle. Most people are not even conscious of their inner state. And they assume this to be natural. And they continue to live in the same negative state. And they probably go through the same negative cycles over and over again. So, you are a seeker. To truly make a shift in your consciousness and progress in your experience of discovering and connecting with the universal intelligence, you have to go through a journey of self-realization. I believe that self-realization is the foundation upon which God-realization could happen. Without the foundation of self-realization, how many ever experiences you may have of the universal intelligence or the transcendental, you will fall back into the same old traps of suffering. You will come back to your negativity and you will come back to a lack of trust. How can there be trust or faith on the universal intelligence or the transcendental when you are stuck in your suffering states of hurt, of anger, of anxiety or disappointments? You will undoubtedly project these states upon the universal intelligence too, believe me. Like you wonder if your partner loves you, you also wonder if the divine loves you. Like you feel disappointed with your family members, you feel disappointed in the divine also. Like you live in fear of tomorrow and you lose trust in life, you lose trust in the universal intelligence too. How can you have one heart for the world and another for experiencing the universal intelligence? It's not possible. So self-realization is about transforming your consciousness. Only then can a true and a powerful awakening to the transcendental happen to you. Every month, I lead thousands of seekers around the world on a journey of spiritual awakening called the Manifest. Manifest is about walking a mystic's path to create abundance in every aspect of your life. And this month, I will be leading seekers into Manifest Divine Protection, which is a journey into the transcendental, to access the great power and the presence of the universal intelligence to protect you in the face of uncertainties, to protect you in the face of challenges of life. Let me give you a little glimpse of what it means to access the universal intelligence as the great protector in your life. There are 6 stages that you would walk through on the path of God-Realisation or the transcendental awakening as a seeker. As your consciousness moves from one stage to the next, it is actually on an evolutionary trajectory. You are breaking free of the cycle of belief and no belief that you find yourself stuck in right now. The first stage of God realization is called Balya Avastha, or the stage of childhood. What is the most dominant nature of childhood? It is wanting, constant asking, constant craving for something or the other. When your connection with the universal intelligence is in the Balya Avastha, in that stage, then you are in the state of wanting and expectation. When they are met, you are happy. And you're full of faith and trust. You feel secure in the universal intelligence, like how a child is happy. But when your wants are not met with, it could be an emotional want, it could be a material want. When they are not met, you move deeper and deeper in suffering. And in the process, you lose faith, you lose trust in the universal intelligence. And then you live from a state of anger and dissatisfaction. In Balya Avastha, there is no spiritual wisdom. You are giving into your non-stop wanting and craving. Hence, your connection with the universal intelligence is swinging in opposites. There are moments of great connection, and there are moments of disconnection from the universal intelligence. At the second stage, you would enter Vartika Avastha, or a stage of trading. To understand this, let me tell you a story, a funny story. So once a man was returning home, and on the way he sees a date tree laden with dates. So he's tempted to eat some. So he climbs the tree very quickly, plucks as many as he could carry. But when he tries to get down, his courage fails him. And he begins praying to God to help him come down the tree very safely. He makes an agreement with God that if he received God's help, in return for the favor, he would feed 100 poor people in his village. Soon he climbs down 50%, and suddenly his mind begins to tell him, this climb isn't so hard. Coming down isn't very difficult. Unnecessarily, I've committed so much to God. It's a waste of money. So he changes his agreement and brings it down by 50. Then 75% down the tree, the man regrets even more his promise to God and brings down the number to 10. And finally, as he lands down, he tells himself, okay, let me be a good man. I will feed one man because I promised God and I should not break it. And continues to think on his way. Who's the leanest fellow in my village who would eat very little? So at this stage, you become a trader. Your connection with the universal intelligence is around giving and taking. You offer something that you feel would appease the universal intelligence, and in return, the universal intelligence would grant you something that would make you happy. You become calculative. You doubt and mistrust. There is no generosity, true generosity flowing because your heart is closed. There is no love for the universal intelligence. You think like a trader. How can I get the most by giving the least? In the next stage, third stage on this path is Adarsha, meaning an idealist. At this stage, you strive hard to be good because you believe by being good, you would please God. You would make God happy. You will become close to God. You will be in constant grace of God. You will receive spiritual rewards. Your obsession with ideals is not leading you actually into a rapturous connection with the universal intelligence. You are still engrossed with yourself only because you are very busy fighting your mind. You strive to live up to these ideals. You strive to be good. You strive to be kind to everyone, to be patient, to be forgiving, to be generous, to be self-disciplined. And you try to inculcate every virtue that you feel would appease the universal intelligence and win universal intelligence, love, and grace into your life. At this stage, you experience immense struggle against yourself because you are not truly embodying these states. You are trying to forgive despite being hurt and angry. You are trying to be compassionate and kind despite having judgments and cold indifference towards the other. You are trying to be generous despite wanting to not share your wealth or possessions. Who you are and what you try to do are totally in misalignment. And hence there is enormous conflict within you. After all these humongous efforts to be good, when you feel that the universal intelligence has not answered your prayers or reached out to you in a moment of need, you move into immense disappointment and disconnection. You move into blaming yourself and blaming the universal intelligence. And you become stuck with the why question. That is, you ask, despite my goodness and despite my virtue, why is this happening to me? This, believe me, could become a lifelong obsession. You encounter painful situations in life and you feel God or the universal intelligence has been unfair in giving you this pain despite your goodness and your effort to be righteous. These three stages are immersed in ignorance. They reflect a consciousness that is not awakened. Please understand that self-realization cannot happen when you judge yourself or when you feel ashamed about yourself. Self-realization does not also happen when you are self-righteous and you justify yourself. Self-realization happens in non-judgmental awareness of truth. And when a passionate prayer arises from that awareness. Close your eyes for a few moments now. It would be wonderful for you to take this inward journey for a few moments. Just relax. Let go. And walk with me. Breathe slowly. Recognize your in-breath and your out-breath. Inhale consciously and exhale consciously. See yourself as a truth seeker, a jignasi, one who is a spiritual warrior walking the path of truth. Observe for a few moments what state disconnects you from the universal intelligence. Do you become a child obsessed with wants and needs? Do you become a trader and become obsessed with what you are giving and what you are receiving? Do you strive to be good and virtuous all the time?
We are here to remember. I see you.
Move into a prayer now. Feel the universal intelligence within the sacred space of your heart. Ask the universal intelligence to free you from these two traps of ignorance that pulls you into suffering and disconnects you from experiencing the limitless love and the blessings of the universal intelligence. Gently open your eyes now. The fourth, fifth, and the sixth stages that I will describe now are the destination that you have to walk towards. If you are passionate about having a beautiful connection with the universal intelligence. At the fourth stage, you become a premi or a lover of the universal intelligence. Love is an immensely fulfilling experience. When you experience a state of love for the universal intelligence, you feel so complete in that experience that there is nothing to ask. That is why I often say, love is a reward in itself. When you awaken to love, you are in the heart of the universal intelligence. The universal intelligence feels you, cares for you, protects you as you immerse in loving the universal intelligence. The fifth and the sixth stages happen to you when you move into enlightened states of consciousness. The fifth stage is where you become a jnani. It is a jnani, not ajnani. A jnani, jnani, a wise one. And at the sixth stage, you become a mukta, or one who is liberated. At this stage, you begin to see the creator and the creation as being inseparable. Your eyes of wisdom open, and you begin to see that you have to understand the ways of the universal intelligence. You have to understand the nature of reality itself. You are attached to certain events happening. You are averse to certain events happening. You want a particular result to happen, and you resist a particular outcome. You are drawn to certain situations or people, and you feel repelled by certain situations or people. Jnani is someone who transcends this downward pull or gravity of attachments and aversions. A jnani rises above them and witnesses everything as a flow of events and situations. To a jnani, life is a flow. The universe is a flow. A wise one is not attached to the outcome because their understanding of reality is totally different. To them, reality is a vast, limitless field of possibilities. Anything can happen at any moment. They do not feel limited and bound by conditions. To them, at any moment, anything can arise and anything can go out of existence. Today, quantum physics has come close to this view of reality, a view that our ancient sages and seers had. It says nature or universe does not have a fixed outcome for any process. It allows every possibility and every eventuality that can happen in that moment. When you are not attached to one outcome or a particular kind of event or situation, then you see everything as a play. To a jnani, universe is a leela, or the play of the universal intelligence. And beyond jnani is a totally liberated one, or mukta. To a mukta, everything is the universal intelligence. There is no place the universal intelligence is not there. No moment when the universal intelligence is absent. The separation between the mundane and the transcendental has dissolved. This is the journey ahead for each seeker who is listening here. Your connection with the transcendental will be swinging between faith and no faith, as long as you live in the first 3 stages of God-Realisation. And that is why in the manifest divine protection this month, I will lead you beyond the 3 stages into the 4th and the 5th stages, where you will awaken to the great love for the universal intelligence, and you will also awaken to great wisdom in your consciousness to discover who the universal intelligence is and how does this being or the soul of the universe relate to you and respond to you. The last stage, the 6th stage, happens only in Ekam tapas, which is an exclusive journey into becoming enlightened. A journey which Sri Krishnaji and I have started or launched this month. We have the first group of selected seekers going through this journey right now. As you enter the limitless field, the seekers in Ekam tapas will be receiving their Mukti Diksha from Sri Krishnaji. When you move beyond the first 3 stages, you begin to experience the immensely beautiful attributes of the universal intelligence. You manifest divine protection in your life. You feel like a baby kangaroo being held in the protective embrace of the all-knowing, compassionate, universal consciousness. That is the journey that I would be leading you on the manifest this month.
Thank you so much, Sri Preethaji. Right now, Chris from Malaysia. She's a seeker and a student of Sri Preethaji. She has been on the 5 awakenings journey with Sri Preethaji that culminated just a few hours ago. And she's here to share her experience with everyone. Chris, you may please go ahead and share.
Namaste, Preethaji.
Namaste, Chris. So beautiful to see you.
So nice to see you too. Thank you so much for the session today for the 5 awakenings. So I've participated about 8 of them since last year now, across 3 continents, the US, Europe, and Asia. So I'm based in Singapore. I'm Singaporean. And thank you so much for your profound teachings, your wisdom, your guidance, the ability to just lead us into these profound enlightened states, this profound enlightened oneness states. There's nothing like that in this world. And the way that you share your wisdom is so profound that we're transported into the actual states. Just today, as you were sharing the story about Satyakama, the disciple of Buddha, how he was fully awakened to the enlightened state of flow. As you were narrating the state of flow, being one with the flow, being one with the fire, being one with the swans, I totally experienced and felt the intelligence of the flow. It was so profound. My eyes were in tears. It was so humbling and so beautiful. Thank you so much. And that's just simply through your wisdom teachings. Now, the processes are out of this world. I've never experienced anything elsewhere like this. Leading us into these profound enlightened states through the 5 awakenings, and of course through all the different offerings that Ono guides us through manifests, etc. Through the union with the universal intelligence, the cosmic consciousness, I know where I came from, I know where I'm going, and I know where I'm returning to. Thank you so much. And I know why I'm here on planet Earth. I know how I'm to create the impact. I know what my life purposes are. And it's been such a blessing. Just just a session today for the heart intelligence awakening. During the process, I saw this clear white light from the cosmic consciousness flowing through my heart chakra down to the base of my spine, a clear white light, and the connection is indisputable. It was so profound, so immense, so vast, so expansive. And as we progressed during the process, I also saw myself shooting through the universe, in the galaxies, as a rocket, in mighty speed. I could feel the energies just blasting across all sides of me. It was so expansive. It was amazing. And I also experienced the healing intelligence through the process today. I experienced and I saw how on my own I'm absolutely limited. But with the universal intelligence, with the healing intelligence of the universal intelligence, I am everything. The impact that can be created through that is so vast, so limitless. So it's endless, it's so powerful, and it's so profound. And also, it's not just when we're in the five awakenings that we experience these states. I've also experienced these states after the five awakening sessions. For instance, after one recent five awakenings USA, I was in a complete stillness within, a deep stillness. And as I was basically outside at a petrol station. As I was just looking ahead of me, I saw a man standing 50 meters ahead of me. He was scratching his head. I could feel him scratching his head. I could feel the scratching. As I looked towards my right, there was another man walking about 100 meters away from me. I could feel his walking. It was so profound. It was so blissful. It was enormous. And so how does that impact me on a day-to-day basis? Immensely. There's so much confidence and knowing from deep within, I'm definitely being guided by the universal intelligence. It's not just from my limited mind. And I'm able to nurture and create loving relationships in all aspects of my life, with my loved ones, with people I work with strangers, with the world at large, from a limitless, giving, loving, unconditionally loving manner, rather than from a limited mind. Thank you so much, Sri Preethaji. It's so profound. And my wish for everyone is really for everyone on this planet to experience the five awakenings, to awaken to the true potential, to the true purpose in life, and to nurture loving, unconditional loving relationships with everyone, and for us to create such an enormous impact for a better world for everyone, for all species, for all of humanity. Thank you so much. You're such a blessing.
That was a beautiful sharing, Chris. I would say it is a true blessing for all of them participating in the limitless field to hear you out while you're just out of the five awakenings this afternoon. So your state, what you spoke, conveyed a lot about your state. And a tiny little correction on Satyakama Jabala was the disciple of Gautama, a sage, and not the Buddha. Okay. It was lovely to hear you, and definitely a blessing to all the participants. Thank you. Before we move into the limitless field, I would like to take a moment to speak to the parents and the teachers who are present here. With all that is happening in the world, the biggest concern in your mind is the life and the future of your children. One of the major challenges that parents as well as teachers all over the world are facing is to ensure the mental health of the children, adolescents, and young adults. It is becoming much clearer now more than ever that we have a bigger pandemic at our doorstep that threatens our children and our younger generations more. That pandemic is depression and anxiety. Sri Krishnaji and I have held this vision for the young people of the world to lead them out of destructive states of being, lead them into beautiful states, so that they are able to overcome the challenges they are facing without succumbing to those challenges. Towards that, every month, Sri Krishnaji addresses the young people, answering questions regarding the current life challenges. Sri Krishnaji and Youth, the abbreviation is SKY. The SKY event, Sri Krishnaji and Youth, happens every month. Every third month, the young people are led into a powerful manifest process by us, both Sri Krishnaji and me, to awaken them to wisdom and beautiful states so that they do not fall a victim to depression, anxiety, or self-destructive states. So this month, we will be leading them on a journey to discover self-love, where they begin to experience peace and ease with every part of themselves. Peace and ease with their body, their past, their present, their intelligence, and their capabilities. This process would be like the ancient Japanese art of putting the broken pottery pieces together with a gold bonding. Every human being has aspects to themselves and their lives that are broken or imperfect. Every young person would have faced failures, rejections, heartbreaks, criticisms, ridicule, and disappointment in life. But these need not break you. When you awaken to self-love in your consciousness, you are embracing those imperfect aspects of you, and you are arriving at a state of wholeness rather than seeing oneself as broken pieces. Awakening self love would awaken a great intelligence within these young people, an intelligence that is born from deep love and peace with oneself. Sri Krishnaji, the prime mover of the Diksha phenomenon, would be there to give Diksha and to heal the deep-rooted wounds in their hearts that paves way for self-hate and self-destruction. And the Diksha would rewire their brain to experience great love for themselves. So if you have any young person in your mind, it will be great if you can direct them to this manifest self-love. Let us move into the limitless field now.
In a few moments from now, we will be entering the powerful limitless field with Sri Preethaji. During the limitless field, you will be inviting the divine to come into your heart lotus or Hridaya Kamala with a chant Om. Om is the primordial and the eternal sound of the universe. When you chant Om, your body, your brain, your heart and mind become connected to the entire universe. During these moments, you will visualize a golden lotus at the center of your chest as you chant Om. Entering the limitless field is like entering the field of the divine. Today in the limitless field, you will receive blessings to experience an immensely powerful connection with the universal intelligence so that you're able to manifest great synchronicities and miracles by accessing the power of the universal intelligence. And as your connection with the universal intelligence grows, you will evolve on the path of enlightenment. So it is now time to enter the sacred limitless field. We request you to kindly put your mobile phones on silence. Please do so immediately. We request you to be in total silence and not interact with each other. Only by being in silence can you tune into the limitless field and receive the profound experience it can give you. Please sit with your spine erect, either on a chair or on the floor. Sit still. Rest your hands upon your thighs with palms facing upwards. Let the tips of your index fingers touch the tips of your thumbs. You may have your eyes open now. Breathe slowly and deeply into your chest region. Keep your awareness centered. Gently close your eyes. Let us now immerse in the Ekam mantra, Hamsa Soham Ekam. As you chant the mantra, feel your consciousness expand. You flow into the universal intelligence, and the universal intelligence flows into you. Feel internally as if you are holding hands with all the members of your soul circle, those people who are an important part of your life. Wherever they may be, feel as if they are present with you in the limitless field now. Wish for them a beautiful life of health and happiness. Gently move your awareness to the center of your chest. See the golden lotus or the Hridaya Kamala there. And let us now chant Om. Ask for the divine presence of the universal intelligence to fill your heart now. Now, Sri Preethaji will lead us deeper into the limitless field. Bring your attention to the middle of your brain. Hold an intention that your consciousness awakens to a powerful experience of connection with the universal intelligence. Let us now pray for every human being to be free of disease in their bodies and anxiety in their minds. May all human beings live with greater connection to Mother Earth. You may now slowly, gently open your eyes.
Vidyavantam yashaswantam lakshmivantam janam guru rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi dehi saubhagyamam परमं सुखं रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो
It was wonderful to connect with all of you from all over the world. When it is safe for all of us to travel, please visit the Ekam Kshetra. Kindly mark the dates for manifest divine protection. It would be on the 8th of August. For the eastern part of the globe, it would be at 6:30 a.m. For all the Indian seekers, it would be 5 p.m. And for all the western part of the globe, it would be 9 p.m. all India time. And the self-love manifest for all young people would happen on the 29th of August at 5 p.m. Namaste.